Well, don't you think they'll develop some sort of gravity generating machines?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. Like Jeff Bezos talks about this a lot.
Yeah.
Like how you create artificial gravity in space. Because for Jeff Bezos, the likely way to colonize space is to have space stations. Elon is more focused on colonizing planets, Mars.
Yeah.
So both are obviously going to be necessary, and you're going to need to have gravity in order to get laid.
Bro, the first people that make that trip. Ooh.
Yeah, Jamie was saying he wants to go.
I don't know about, I mean, on that trip, but
Yeah.
a trip.
You go eventually?
No, why not?
Oh, dude, why? What if you die out there?
Okay, you're going to die.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, but you don't
Joe.
want to die that way, dude.
If you get to decide one way to die, that's not one of the worst
Oh,
ways.
it's the worst way. You're going to die in space, running out of air.
You don't know how it's going to happen. Could
What
be
about-
on re-entry?
You could you could just cook instantly.
Could be on the way up.
You get hit by a micro meteorite.
Could be while you're asleep up there.
Could be.
Imagine standing on Mars, looking back at Earth.
Going, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah,
Why did I do this?
and then having kids on Mars and
Oh,
then
those
teaching
poor
them.
kids.
We came from there.
You think homeschooling's bad? How about space
Yeah.
schooling?
Just imagine the crazy shit that happens on Mars. I mean, it's going to be, 100,000 people?
Yeah, and so you're going to get one psycho who's going to run everything,
Mhm.
and they're going to take over.
Yeah.
Probably some cult leader convinces everybody to do it his way.
It's going to be a sex cult, 100%.
100%.
And we're back to sex in space.
Right, they're going to say, like, listen, if Elon is their man, Elon wants to procreate every chance he can.
Mhm.
How many kids does he have now? Allegedly.
Double digits.
No, we don't even know how many.
Well,
Because they think he's got secret kids.
they think, who's they?
They! The
keep
fucking
count.
people that run the world.
Is there a Wikipedia page on this?
There probably is. He's probably got secret kids.
Secret kids.
Yeah. When you have, like, what does he have? Like $300+ billion?
It's growing.
You can have a few ladies here or there all over the place
Yeah.
having kids. There's a lot of ladies that just want to have kids. They don't want a guy around.
Yeah. There's a
Especially when they get a little older.
there's a castle in the south of France with a harem, just a bunch
Waiting
of kids.
for him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
waiting for daddy
allegedly.
to land his rocket
Online, it
ship.
officially says at least 12.
Yeah, at least 12 kids. See, nobody even knows. Imagine no one knows how many kids you have. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's the situation Genghis Khan was in.
Well, he was doing it a little differently. He was a little bit more forceful.
Actually, I mean, there's a lot of different perspectives on that. Like what's the book on Genghis Khan? So first of all, there's obviously the Dan Carlin, Wrath of the Khans, and in that series of podcasts, he criticizes the book Jack Weatherford.
Making of the Modern World.
Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World. Genghis Khan, the Mongols, and the Making of the Modern World.
Yeah, so that's the there it is. Nice. That is one of the things that Dan Carlin talks about, that when enough time has passed, that they sort of look at these marauders and murderers in a different light and saying, oh, he opened up trade to the east. Sure. Also, killed 10% of the population of Earth, lit people on fire and launched them on catapults onto thatched roofs.
Well, I think actually Dan Carlin makes a really good point. How long do you wait until that you could tell these kinds of stories about Hitler? I think that's the example he
Yes,
uses.
that's what he uses.
But you want to be historically accurate here, and Genghis Khan, there's a lot of different perspectives, including opening up trade, and including what was the protocol based on which he was doing the murdering. So it was very clear before the invasion. He always said, you can surrender, and then we would not murder anybody. You just have to follow the law. And the law was very, very sort of clear, and it's basically enforcing a law of the land, so free trade, free practice of religion, and you have to pay taxes instead of to your king. You have to pay taxes to the Mongol Empire.
But did they really say we won't kill anyone?
Yes, 100%. That's they followed that, and this is very well documented.
Really?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
everybody could have just laid down and 10% of the world's population wouldn't be dead?
Yes.
Really?
So the nuance there is that sometimes they killed the upper classes.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't they kill the royals by like crushing them to death? They'd
Yeah,
have
there's-
lunch over them.
They were, listen, this is a different time, but they were brutal.
Oh,
if
yeah.
because they want to, they use fear as part of the military tactics, right? So
Yeah.
they want people to be terrified, and they want people to talk about how terrifying the Mongol Empire is, so that they forfeit more easily.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of aspects of it. Not to say that Genghis Khan is a feminist, but there's a lot of progressive aspects. Like, he put a lot of women in positions of power. He gave a lot of rights to women. This is a very strange
Yeah, but he
perspective.
did
for
a
me.
lot of raping.
Nope, there's not his
What?
kids. It's.
What do you mean, nope? When
Uh,
when he would conquer these places, he would take women, and
In
they
a-
would
in a
become his
harem.
new wives. Yeah, but
so
it wasn't their call, so that's
Yeah.
kind of rapey.
that's very rapey, yeah. So, but there's a
If you just fucking take them and make them have your kids.
there's the kind of mass rape that the Soviet soldiers did at the end of World War II when they're marching towards Berlin, which is extremely violent, vicious, and sort of that kind of rape, which is part of the terror of war. And then there's like creating a harem of women, right?
Mhm.
So it's a different. I think the main point is that, this is something you talk about, that, a large percent of the population, as that one study from like 20 years ago found, are descendants of Genghis Khan.
Huge. Yeah.
I think the way to do that is to make everybody who's your descendant popular within the culture. Like, you can't have that many have your DNA propagate throughout civilization by raping. You have to have everybody who to have a high status for people that are associated with Genghis Khan. So you can't have that kind of thing with fear. You can only do it with respect and high status. And he, for several generations, created an empire that was flourishing.